Unstoppable. Be stopped. Kelly Pavlik, an unstoppable runaway train, crushing anyone in his path.
Pavlik has a huge knockout.
Bernard Hopkins, the iron-willed warrior who's never been knocked out.
Perfect right hand by Hopkins.
Can the undeterred legend derail the Pavlik Express?
This is boxing.
Pavlik versus Hopkins.
Is a two-time world champion. Getting out of the red corner. Belts. The middleweight title is not on the line. Kelly goes Pavlik.
Scorecards and Pavlik, who says that he will get.
Right at this stage right now, when Kelly comes in, Bernard punch.
Good left hook to the.
He's concerned about the jab, the left hook, as you can see.
Defensive fighter, as I've looked, then it looks to be to himself. But he
hasn't gotten a chance, and there moves away. Pavlik misses with the right hand, lands a little left hook. Our clock. I wonder if it's short.
Both guys are fighting a very good defensive fight.
That's what he did.
Pavlik so far has been,
and so hot as he does that.
I always felt that 3 times I've seen.
Good jab by Hopkins. Pavlik's plan is to force Hopkins to fight at. Pavlik's opportunities to find Hopkins have been few and far between, and Pavlik's legs are stiffened by Hopkins.
The temple area, I think.
Forward looking for more.
As
he
moves, here you see Bernard land a left hook where he made the body motion as if he was going to throw a jab and area of the head, and comes back with a left punch right up between the gloves. That's the punch I think that did damage to Kelly's right eye.
Been more or less neutralized by Hopkins. What he's doing mainly is cutting down on virtues.
Good left hook up between the gloves by Hopkins. Rips Pavlik with his left hook again.
A tough fight for 6 rounds.
The formula for how Calzaghe beat him. If Bernard Hopkins is able to throw
127 Bernard Hopkins. I think it's amazing. This fight so far is Bernard Hopkins. First punch, he's effective. I think the key is he's just throwing that first punch.
About it. But other than most of his fights,
at least early in the fight, they were wrestling. Moves laterally, and once
this last half minute could determine the outcome of this round, they should say.
From Kelly's right hand. Bernard doing, which is one of his favorite things, landing those clean little shots.
Bernard Hopkins, regardless of who lands, said, keep it up.
Yeah, pressure from a tall fellow, but any tall short guy where you can top him.
The target is there, landed a solid body shot. Good right hand. And a left hook by Bernard as well, that he's unable to mount the offense he wants.
But even in the...
How curious is the chemistry of boxing? Watching these two guys now into the 5th round, you would think there's no way that Hopkins is the guy who...
He's putting boxing skills in here, and this is something that Kelly is
26-year-old fighter. And the crowd is chanting B-Hops as Hopkins' legs begin to slow. Bernard Hopkins winning all 5 rounds.
You know, even that, what we in boxing call a real knockout, came from accumulation of wearing guys down. So if he gets... Kelly is a good puncher, but not a one-punch puncher.
And the guy took to the body. Gone over 9 rounds, a fact of which Bernard...
And if they both get tired, Bernard...
And I'll show that... Now the pattern of...
Doesn't have the power, but much more difficult to...
12 rounds against Joe.
Yep, and I haven't saw him get hit with a solid punch yet. I mean...
There's also, Sexton has got to start picking up right hand to win each of those Hopkins.
I have Pavlik.
Well, Mikey's dismissed at the end. And Bernard clearly...
clean punches.
Have to throw caution to the...
Like he's getting a little fatigued.
To the left hook.
Bernard, like mentally, he's getting recharged now.
Still dominates the center of the ring. He's still ripping Pavlik in domination and putting him on the defensive. The Youngstown people are in shock. Hopkins, 16 up. What a show by Hopkins, and another. And Hopkins almost made us laugh yesterday when
knockout, which Kelly came in to do and was predicting. Now he has to worry about his last 3 rounds, and he doesn't.
And his jab. Not with any big impact. More stationary target. Deal with Hopkins' shoulder roll.
But he's not. He realizes now that he can actually see it.
And if the official... So just for good measure, as if it isn't enough for Hopkins, gets an extra point on the scorecard.
And still see this fighter fighting George Foreman, but George had the referee making a decision to just take.
If Bernard Hopkins will to do it.
Bernard is showing part because Zaggy and
you're right, Larry. And, you know, it punch and pound, and you never know what can happen as the fight goes on. But right now, it's all Bernard.
Jose Luis Sotuche, and the 2 wins over Jermaine Taylor, and the huge knockout over Gary Lockett.
He's in Cleveland, but he's a good fighter, but he's going straight back, and he
just discovering what there aren't many guys.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Larry.
Don't forget again, he can make an excuse for him. And strong
defense with Arthur Abraham, because Abraham...
Point from Hopkins for holding, and he never won Hopkins. I mean, give me a break, guys. I'm sick of watching.
Last 3 rounds of the second win in 3 fights since that was a win by which... or back Hopkins' body. The right hand...
says a lot about what he's done in this fight.
Michael Moore, November 5, 1994, to gain...
Calzaghe wins that fight.
Because him, but his corner, he's a great experienced staff of batting the Richardson. He's in craftiness in the corner. So then you look at Jack Lowe.
They've done well.
A lot of the con artists clean.
Take out the box, so to say, by some other with his short punches.
There hasn't been a moment in the fight not to. Correct.
You know.
Fight Kelly Pavlik didn't have to blow to the image of the younger generation. Pavlik gets ripped by a right hand, staggered in the center of the ring. Question is, can Pavlik...
He started out at the very beginning and has fought the full 12 rounds in a fight. He was a big underdog, youth, everything. Unbelievable.
Look at the difference with house money. He was at great pains to tell. No risk there.
He says he invests. What would it like when you hear something in the first round? He said, I don't do things like that. He said, I fight safety. I take my time.
His face is bloodied, and his reputation of the world. Bernard Hopkins out.
And he's
How many electoral votes did Hopkins gather? Almost all of them.
How you guys at?
Round 2, when he staggered Pavlik and looked at the punches, Kelly kept trying to come in. Constantly as applied pressure, Bernard with faster hands ripped him with combinations on the inside. Seldom was Kelly Pavlik ever to land a telling blow, either to the body or the head, while Hopkins kept his gloves in Pavlik's face and even showboated from time to time with the ease of his dominance.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the 2-time champion.